guys? Sounding good?
Awesome.
All right. We're going live.
This is where we need like a theme song. I don't know.
Are you doing the dun 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 dun? The Western
Can
theme.
you hum the Galactic Driftwood theme song?
Boop
No.
boop 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 boop
boop boop boop boop boop boop. That's about all I can do.
Actually, I would do.
I think that's good. That's a good start.
Yeah, it's not
and
bad.
then a bird going rah!
Not bad.
I would do
whatever
more of the
horrible
charging my
sounds.
attack theme personally.
Yeah. Well, hello out there in YouTube land. We're here on the last day of OCon 2019. And we got a little wrap-up of today's exciting events and just kind of a general wrap-up of the con itself. I'm Bill.
I'm Jenna,
I'm Seth.
I'm Chris.
who is our special guest star of awesomeness.
Yep. And we welcome Chris, and we're looking forward to some of his insights into the event. So let's start with Jenna. And so on the whole con, what was your highlight so far?
You know, honestly, our panel. We had a great Stranger Things panel at noon today.
Yeah, we had quite a good crowd.
We
very
had a great
engaged.
crowd, very engaged. Great discussion and theories. And the hospitality of the Midwest. I really appreciate the fact that people came and were interested,
Well, and
including
with-
Chris.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
you contributed.
And with Stranger Things Season 3 premiering this coming Thursday,
Yeah,
it was not only a fascinating panel, but it was very timely.
indeed. Theories.
Theories abounded in there. Lots of discussion about
Good audience
things
participation.
left hanging at the end of Season 2.
Probably the biggest panel I've ever been on.
Nice. And checking out some cosplay walking by.
Yes, I am checking out the cosplay. All the cosplay.
All the cosplay.
Jennifer, her eyes are up here.
Judgy.
Okay.
I do what I want.
Seth, what was your highlight?
As always, I love the dealer's room. But the panel was the highlight, but there's also the dealer's room.
Yeah.
And I have myself a new skull cruncher.
Nice. So you can whack somebody. You're going to bring that to the podcast on a regular basis?
Yes, I won't tell you who it's for.
No, you don't have to. I almost know already.
Could be anyone.
Yeah. Now,
Is this going to hang over, like, break in case of emergency, or...
No, because it'd be broken every episode.
Yes.
That's why we didn't let you get the Negan bat at Planet Comic-Con with the barbed wire and everything.
Right.
And I also today picked up Junior Braves of the Apocalypse. Fun-looking graphic novel.
They did as well.
Got volumes 1 and 2 of that. And Can I Pet Your Werewolf? And this is by the Junior Braves of the Apocalypse is by Greg Smith, Michael Tanner, and Zach Lehner.
Really great artwork in there.
Fantastic artwork. And you can find them at Junior Braves 65 on Twitter and on Facebook. So if this book is about a group of basically Boy Scouts goes to summer camp, and the zombie apocalypse happens when they're while they're off at summer camp, and they come back to town to find their town overrun with zombies and
So they
otherwise
have no parents.
deserted. Yeah, no parents. And so then they have to use their scouting
Boy Scouts.
skills to survive.
Now, is it a dark book in the sense that they have to double tap their own parents at some point?
I don't know yet. I
Double
just
tap.
started
That
reading
would
it.
be very dark.
You know how many of them are like, screw my big brother? Pew.
Right, you got to go.
So, Can I Pet Your Werewolf is an anthology of adorable little werewolf stories. And it is both cute and enjoyable and funny.
Nice.
And so, as usual at a con, I love picking up myself some new comics that I haven't seen from new authors that I haven't read.
Chris, I know we want you to tell us your highlights, but to be honest, speaking of books, how many more books did you add to your library because of Gina?
So my wife picked up at least 12 books, maybe 15, 16 books while we were here. So
Damn.
close to another shelf worth.
Good thing
yes.
you completed your library finally.
No, it's still not done.
What?
So what ended up happening was we got a bunch of shelving, and she filled it all, and I need more shelves. So the
So
saga of
IKEA
keep
trip.
going yeah, I need to go back down and get some more shelving. The good news is we're collecting a lot of great books here. So.
Oh, excellent.
And where's this shelving at? Is it at your
His
house?
house.
Yeah, it's in the house.
Yeah, it's a
We had our
whole-
house
We have a
built
legit
last year. We
library.
had a legit
Nice.
library kind of put in, except we didn't have any shelving until just recently.
Ah.
So we filled in the entire wall with new shelving. It looks magnificent. And now it's all full, and I still have books on the floor. So lots of books still on the floor. So need a lot
And
more books.
More books over there.
books.
Right.
Oh, you got Plume. Yes.
Yes.
It looks so. The art is so good in Plume. Isn't it? Here,
That's another art.
hand over
Hand those
Plume
over.
so I can
take
show.
a quick look.
I need to.
So we
I
know-
may need to get this after.
We know what your wife loved. What did you love?
Yeah, so I had a couple of highlights aside from picking up some awesome reads that we're going to have. And two of the big ones came actually today. We went to
It's such
one
a
of the
good
sessions was an improv session. So there's
Oh.
a group that comes out of Kansas City, and they did the session Attack of the Zombie Disney Princess Superhero and Improvised Geek Film Festival. So it's a group of 3 members, and they come up and they've basically got this board, and they ask the crowd. It's very interactive. Hey, what type of theory you're into? You want to do a space opera, or
I see.
80s fantasy, Disney princesses,
Oh.
and if asked, they also mix and match some of those concepts together as well. So they basically take it. There's 3 of them. They wing it, and they just do an entire mini
awesome.
film. Have a reenactment on stage.
Just
They talk
all
about
improv.
just all improv or
That's
whatever.
very cool.
And they a good 45 minutes of doing 3 separate films there, and in the end they kind of found a way to tie it into the other ones that they did. So it's pretty creative. It's pretty unique. I guess it's about their 5th year here, so they're here every year. They do it all around different places, but you get a chance to look up the session, dig into a little bit of that group and see what they do. But it's pretty good.
That
was one of the
improv
highlights.
is tough to do.
It is.
We did a little bit of that. I was in, let's see, what was it, maybe a year and a half ago. I was in a play at the I was downtown. What was the name of that theater? Linda, what was the name of the theater I did the Doctor Who play at? Oh yeah, the Apollon. Okay. Downtown. So they did a Doctor Who themed, and I played the War Doctor in that play. So leading up to that, to kind of get the cast familiar with each other, we did a lot of improv, just to kind of push each other's boundaries and stuff,
Yep.
kind of get familiar with each other, and it was fun. But you really got to be on your toes, for that kind of thing.
It was. At one
Yeah,
point, they got roped into singing
Oh wow.
for one of them.
Oh,
and then
God.
it became, you could tell, they were trying to trap each other into who can we make sing next.
Oh no!
So that was the Disney Princess. You got to have a song.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's
God.
Disney.
Disney one.
Right.
So at one point, would you like to hear a song? And then they'd be like, oh, you're it. You got to sing us something. So that was pretty interesting, but it was good. It was very, very fun.
So you've been in Omaha for quite a bit of time now. Have you? Like, when was your first OCon?
This is my second or third one.
Ah.
Second. So yeah. Haven't made it to too many, but I'm getting to making it a reoccurring thing. So
Just for giggles.
Yes.
And camaraderie. Because nerds need to stick together.
you do.
This is my second OCon, and I can definitely see myself coming back next year.
Yeah. I like supporting it. It's only when it grows is when
Yeah.
you start getting more people to come. So tell your friends about it. Tell your family about it. It's a
the
family
word.
event.
Yeah.
Yes,
People
it
bring their
is.
kids. It's fun.
Like looking at the program, there were so many just create imagination, encouraging panels, and like activity panels. That was very cool.
Yeah, and the vendor room seems to grow every year. A lot of new vendors there, and actually that's one of my highlights from my year. So. Let me
Oh
just
yeah,
open my-
show us what you got.
Yeah. Well, so I cosplay as the War Doctor. So one booth I stopped at, they had this magazine,
Nice.
which was kind of cool. So we'll hold that up there so you guys can see that.
Doctor Who.
If you can
Yes.
see that, you can see some similarities.
Yes,
Just a few.
Yes.
Just a
Maybe
few.
we should put up a pose
A side by side?
I'll put up a little side picture right next to it of one of my cosplays. But so anyway, the guy that was in the booth, not in the booth next to him, but down a little ways. His name was James Hodge. He's an illustrator and graphic designer, and he was familiar with me as the War Doctor. Excuse me. And so I was talking to a guy in the booth next to him because he had some Doctor Who stuff up, and I said he had like the 12th Doctor, 10th doctor, and I said, do you have any war doctor stuff? And he goes, I do, but I didn't bring it. He goes,
Oh.
I always forget it. And I'm like, like that. And the guy in the next booth goes, do you know who that is? That guy's nationally known Doctor Who cosplayer. And I'm like, I am? And he goes, you Google the War Doctor and his picture comes up. And I'm like,
Well, there you go.
Yeah, Bill goes to Gallifrey 1, the big Doctor Who convention, and goes there as the War Doctor, and he's spot on, except you can get him to smile.
Right. In fact, the funny story is the last time we were there, they had like a hospitality suite for the con goers, and so I walk into the con suite to get a pop or something like that, and some woman screams, and I turn around and she goes, oh my God, you were so spot on. I thought you were John Hurt. I thought he was really here. And I'm like, that's kind of scary considering he died a little while ago.
Oh, no!
I
didn't know
look
that.
bad. No.
Right.
Oh, no.
But it was a nice compliment. I think.
No,
But
so
anyway.
it's funny because, you know what people know you for in their photos.
Right.
I had a guy tell me yesterday, oh yeah, I've seen your photos around because I don't go out of my way. I don't have like a cosplay persona. I don't have a cosplay page.
Yeah.
And then when people are like, oh, I've seen your photos around, I'm like, really? What photos? Where did you get these
Right.
from? I am not known for any one thing like Bill is known for the War Doctor.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
what? Oh God.
I've been walking around the con and people will pass me that I don't even know, and they'll be like Doctor, and I'm not even in my Doctor Who cosplay.
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, so the guy next booth that said all this, I go walking by, and kind of not to him. He goes, "Well, come over here." And so I come over, and he says, "Here," and he shows me this,
Oh, nice.
and it's a chalk outline he's done of John Hurt
yeah.
as the War
Very
Doctor.
well done.
And he goes, here, I want you to have this.
Aww.
And I'm like, no, how much do you want for that? And he goes, nothing. He goes, I have this thing, and he goes, I was thinking of you, and he goes, I want you to have this. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so awesome. So
That is awesome.
Yeah, so thanks very much to James Hodge for doing that. That is awesome. And if you get to OCon and you stop by his booth, check out his other artwork. He's got a lot of cool stuff there. So
Very nice.
That was kind of my highlight from the thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like
very
that.
sweet.
I like that you see a lot of the same vendors every year.
Yeah.
They get to know you.
Yeah. And it gives it really a hometown feel, because you come in and you see all the people that you know from year to year, and kind of reconnect with people that you maybe only see once or twice a year at these events. But you share the same enthusiasm for all these characters and stuff.
So, the people who would have been watching this podcast from the beginning, they would have seen a woman behind me with her baby. Like, her and her husband actually got married at an OCon 3 years ago, and I have cosplayed with them as an Archer group cosplay in the past. And they're from North Platte, and I met them through this cosplay opportunity. And it's like, now we're friends. Like, we keep up occasionally, like, we see each other once a year, but there's that family feel, like you said.
Right,
and that's
right.
kind of what's nice about OCon. It's getting bigger, but it's still small enough that it's a family feel.
Yeah, and it's a pretty well attended con for the Omaha area, which is kind of nice. I mean, the only thing I think I've seen
And
this year
Council, let's not forget, because it's technically in Council Bluffs.
It is,
Yeah,
right, yes.
but the Omaha
Technically.
Council Bluffs Metroplex.
Technically.
Let's give credit where credit is due,
Right.
Satory.
But I think it's one of the bigger cons for the Omaha area, definitely.
Yes.
I mean, I think other than going down to Kansas City for like Planet Comic-Con, which is really huge in comparison, but still, it's nice to see a con like this growing and getting bigger every year.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Well, so what else do you guys want to talk about as far as the con goes? Any particular panels you went to other than ours?
To remark on is they did have lightsaber eliminations today.
Yes.
So a lightsaber fighting contest, both single blade saber and exotic saber, different
Like dual-bladed
ranks,
sabers and stuff. Yeah.
or your Tonfa sabers that you've got.
Right.
Why did
I
you
think-
get
I
that?
should have done
Bill?
that.
No one
should've
would have
done
known
that.
what to do with you because they're just one. They would have been like, "Oh my God, those are so expensive."
Nerd sploosh.
Right. I should have done that. Yeah. Too much to do. and
Next
see.
year, next year.
Next year.
That's why you got to keep coming back. You can't.
I know.
You can't get everywhere.
That's right.
And this
right.
is Galactic Driftwood first year, and hopefully it won't be the last year. It's just like overwhelming because you
Yeah.
want to do and talk to all the people, but
Right. Right.
I mean, you still want to do and go to all the things, but you can't.
Right. You gotta pick and choose.
That's the problem with like being at a con and doing like your own thing.
Yeah.
Is that you've got to stay somewhere when you want to be going to all the different
know.
things.
You gotta staff the booth a little bit and take time doing that. And
But worth it, because we've loved the conversations we've had with people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Chris, like
Yeah.
my friends who stopped by, like Benito Garcia, who has his own D&D podcast. If you see Go RPG, that's a great podcast to see too. It's really fun, entertaining.
And we talked to some folks with the House of Conundrum.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Which does like
The
escape room type stuff, and
they have a sci-fi theme on, right?
Yeah.
Star Trek sci-fi.
Oh.
Okay.
And
What,
so
is it? Never mind. Go on.
anyway, so
We'll gloss over that.
excuse me. So they have said they're going to let us come in and film and record a podcast in that Star Trek themed room there. So we're going to be going there probably early July sometime, maybe on a weekend to check it out.
That's cool.
See what kind of setup we need for that room, and then we'll probably record something there end of July, early August, and put it out maybe towards the end of the month.
Yeah, kind of along the same lines, the Game Shop, a Bellevue gaming store, is here running the game room. They are a huge, awesome game store, and I talked to them, and they wouldn't mind having us there to do an episode there either, which would be awesome.
Yep.
And we were also, we stopped Friday night after the con closed, went down to the old market to the Monster Club down there, and had dinner and some drinks, and we're talking to them, and they would love to have us come and record a podcast.
That would
there.
be fun.
Have you heard of the Monster Club yet?
I haven't.
No, like that's a cool thing. I didn't even know that was a thing until Bill posted about it. It's an actual horror movie themed bar in the old market.
Yeah, they've got like Frankenstein, the werewolf, they've got...
They got an alien head posted on the wall.
Yeah, they came up briefly in discussion yesterday, I think. And,
Yeah.
it's definitely a to-do.
Yeah.
for sure
It
to
is.
get
They
down
have
there.
great cocktails there.
Maybe we should do Benito and have our podcast with him there as a horror movie aficionado.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
So,
I would show up for that.
Let's
Yes,
do-
please.
let's plan to do that. That
for
will
for
be awesome.
burgers and Benito.
Yes. So we'll get that set up. We'll make that
Benito,
happen.
we have a plan for you.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think we'll try to record that like late August.
Jenna
early
says that,
September.
and part of me goes,
Hush you, hush.
Try to get that episode out mid-September or something in time for Halloween season.
That would be perfect.
that would be pretty fun.
Yes, I like it. I like it. Yeah, and the cocktails there are awesome.
Really?
Really
so
good.
Uber
I had an
would be
old-
effective?
Yeah, I had an old-fashioned nightmare, and some sort of something mutant.
I had the Frankenstein and my ramen pineapple, my favorite. And Linda, I don't remember exactly what Linda had. All I know is that when we got home that night, something must have started because we have this African gray parrot, and she left it out on the cage. And normally we put it away when we go, but the dogs are at camps for the weekend, so we could be here more. And so she comes home, and the bird's missing from the cage, and it had kind of flown over and landed on one of the little fences we have to keep the dogs from just going wild to the
Yeah.
house because they're young puppies, kind of. And so she picked. Oh, bird, what'd you do over here? And so she put her back in her cage. And the next morning she got up and she goes, we had a contractor coming to do put some electrical outside the house for us. And so he had access to the inside. And she goes, John, the contractor guy, must have found Bird and put her back on her perch. And I said, why do you know that? She said, well, I found a bird dropping by the fence. So she must have landed on the fence at some point. And I'm like, that was you that picked up the bird and put it back. What? I don't remember that at all.
So
did have three of
especially
those
need to go get
cocktails.
drinks there.
Yeah.
Let's go get drinks.
Yeah.
Something
sounds
else
like a
is
plan.
they had like one of the burgers on their menu, the snake bite, is a Wagyu beef burger.
Wagyu.
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 Either way, it was a delicious goddamn burger. Oh my god.
A waifu burger, I think, is something different.
No, I said Wagyu, not waifu. I mean, if we want to talk
That would be
waifus,
interesting.
Chris can tell us all.
Oh, no.
I didn't even want to go there.
No, it's a different podcast discussion.
Different completely.
So you're saying we'd lose our clear rating for this particular
I think
one?
we've lost it already. I mean, how long has John been on the show?
From
Well,
day
I
one.
thought it was that made you lose your clear rating.
No, they brought me on, and I was like,
Game over, man.
dropped the F.
right?
I dropped the F bomb, and that was they dropped the F bomb before me.
Yeah. Well,
It'll happen.
John tends to bring up the most inappropriate things at the most inappropriate times, so that I think that.
As long as it's not just me.
No.
So we have a bunch of other podcasters here at the con.
Yes.
First and foremost is the Project Nerd
Yes.
network, who has the whole pavilion just kind of back that way. They've been live streaming to Twitch all weekend.
And we actually did a live podcast with them.
Yeah, and I was on their Twitch live stream for a little while.
Yeah.
And
so
then
we'll
we
get that live audio. It's an audio-only recording of our podcast that we did here. So we'll bundle that up and put some unique pictures with that and put that out on YouTube right here in a week or two when we get it from them.
And then we've got our neighbors, Men in a Tub.
Is it 3 men in a tub or just men in a
Men
tub?
in a tub, I think.
Men in a Tub.
Hi.
And a little bit further down is the Grawlix podcast, and then the CF3 podcast, Cult Films, Fans, and Finds.
And you can't forget Sexy Nerd Science, of course.
Right, right,
Yeah, Sexy Nerd Science.
right.
Because
Better than just
nerds
normal
are
nerd
sexy,
science.
let's be honest.
And then, have you checked out the booth there with all the guns that they're like? I don't know if they're 3D printed, or if they just take existing type of prop guns and just
Yeah,
you
they didn't
know,
take close enough
I
to
don't
look
know.
over there. But it is pretty awesome what they have over there as far as the collection.
yeah. I mean,
of
they've got like
guns and weapons.
it's
stuff.
like a big double-handed
Yep.
thing that shoots like rocket-propelled grenades or something to little handguns and.
Yep.
I was like, I
amazing
should take a picture with one of them because like that's when Mario's just tired of your shit.
I want that picture.
That would be great.
Tired of this motherfucking Bowser stealing my motherfucking girlfriend.
Right? All the times, man.
Right.
Just stand outside the last castle and hose it down.
Yep.
That would be
Flamethrower.
awesome. Yep.
That is a comic waiting to happen.
I'm sure it will happen.
If I just would have kept drawing from high school, I could have bust that out. But artist and life.
Speaking of Mario, though, Jenna, you should stand up and show the
Display the
people
photo.
Yeah.
your excellent Mario cosplay there.
Yay!
Look at that. So
I have
cute.
gloves, but things.
You dropped one.
Like not being able to touch and feel is kind of a weirdness.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it's hot. Let's be honest. It is so hot in Omaha today.
But it is cold in here.
It
I
can
don't know. It's all right in here.
Really? I thought it
Yeah.
was cold. I finally wore long pants today because the past 2 days I've been freezing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, if you're outside,
Did you
long
do the
pants,
kilt the traditional
Today
way?
is cooler than it was
I
yesterday.
didn't do a
in
kilt.
here.
I just
Yesterday
did
was
shorts.
Yeah.
warm and hot everywhere.
Well, I think there are less people
I
here
was gonna do
today,
the kilt.
as is a Sunday.
I was going to do the kilt, but I thought, it's that whole shrinkage thing when you're cold.
Who do you think would have noticed?
He was going to do display art later.
John.
But
John would have asked me.
Speak the devil's
He would
name.
have said, it's cold in here. Is there shrinkage of a problem? John.
No. Speaking of,
I know.
There he
Speak the
is.
devil's name. He shall appear.
Yes.
Welcome. We're doing it right now.
We're doing
welcome.
What's that? Yeah, I know. We started earlier because we found out Seth has to leave at 3:30. So we started early, and that's fine. You can jump in at any moment here.
Hey. I can step out for a minute. Because let Chris get used to it and say used to it, so I'll jump out for a minute.
All right.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
you actually have to jump now. It's just like
Boing, boing.
Go ahead and hop in. So you're doing cosplay from Full Metal Alchemy today.
Yes,
Yeah. So what?
close enough.
So let me know what your highlight is of the con.
I don't know what that means.
well, favorite thing of the con so far? Was it walking around in a bubble suit all day yesterday?
I think that might be.
That was impressive.
Slowly marinating?
Damn. It's like, all I can say about that is, I'm glad it's not today, because it's like 106 outside today.
It's worse today outside.
Yeah. But I mean, when you're in here, I guess there really isn't any difference.
No.
The weird thing is when I went out to my car, the heat stuck inside the bag
Oh, God.
after I came back in, and it's like,
Well, yeah, because it's transparent, so the ultra.
Whoa! Okay. Okay, well, I guess sorry to anyone who had their
Apologize
headphones
to your
in.
ears.
Yes.
Rip your earbuds.
Yeah. Glad I wasn't wearing headphones. Yeah. Although that might have helped because these mics are pretty well isolating the sound.
That might
I haven't been eating too well in the past couple of days, and I think I just felt my heart like
Flutter.
yeah.
Skip a beat.
I did
All
enjoy
that
doing.
sodium.
I liked the panel we did yesterday.
The panel was really good. Yeah, we did
Very interactive.
we did a panel on the Orville as the Star Trek of the new millennium. That went over really well.
So
Are you watching Orville, Chris?
I'm not yet.
Oh God,
you should.
I know.
you should watch Orville with us.
Maybe I'll have to start doing that.
Yes.
It
We don't-
is.
Have you seen Galaxy Quest?
Yes.
That is awesome.
We need to do Galaxy Quest for the podcast.
We should. We should
I
have
don't
like
know
a.
by that.
Like
Watch
watch
it
it and then talk about
Talk
it,
about
All
it.
right.
like we
That
did for
would be really
Barbarella,
fun.
except
Yeah.
with a good movie.
I don't even think I need to watch it. I've watched it so many times. I like know it. It's like
It'd still be
I'm
fun.
I'm changing the
Watch it
name.
as a
This is
group.
no longer the
Yeah.
Skull Cruncher. This is Grabthar's Hammer.
all right.
All right.
Be avenged.
By Grabthar's hammer.
By Grabthar's Hammer, by
I
the
shall
sons of
avenge thee.
war.
You know, you might as well
I
name it
shall
Grabthar's Hammer. It's like-
avenge thee.
a real name, so
Yeah.
we never saw Grabthar's Hammer.
By
So.
Grabthar's Hammer.
Yeah.
What a
like it.
savings.
That's awesome. Well, speaking of that, one of my other favorite movies is Mystery Men.
It has been a long
I've
time
been-
since
yeah,
I've
I
seen
haven't
that.
seen that.
That's
in a long time.
That's a weird one.
That is fun.
But the
I love
idea
it.
of a superhero named the Shoveler is just awesome.
Isn't it?
It's like the guy who runs around banging people on the head with
and
shovels.
the Blue Raja.
Yeah, he just throws silverware.
Yeah, and it has no
at people.
blue in his costume, but
Yeah.
Is that the one that had the chicken in with the bowling ball?
Yes, right.
It's been a long
Janine
time.
Garofalo.
Father's
Okay,
Father's
yes.
skull is in the
Yeah.
ball. Yeah.
Which is just
And
strange.
Pee Wee Herman as the Sphinx. No, not the Sphinx.
Which one are you thinking of?
Pee Wee Herman, pull my finger.
Pull my finger.
Oh.
Oh, they got the gas. Yeah.
Yeah.
The gasser?
No.
That sounds familiar for some
I
reason.
know.
The spleen.
Spleen. Oh my God.
Spleen.
Why was he? What was his power again?
You pull his
Pull his
finger,
finger.
and he had deadly farts that would knock
Oh
people
my
down.
God.
And that would be particularly.
That is the most
horrifying.
Pee Wee Herman
Clearly
thing
not
I've
the most
ever heard.
memorable, but
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
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 But you know what I love the most from that film, and that I still want to this day, is a life-size Herkimer battle jitney.
Oh, what?
The Herkimer battle jitney that they took into battle against Casanova Frankenstein at the end of the show. It's like a.
Oh, the
It has been so long since I've seen this movie.
We watched that.
junk bus.
Yes.
I wonder if it's streaming on anything.
Remember the woman kept telling him, "Jocket," and
Okay, let's just say I remember nothing about this
then
movie.
we
Shoveler's
need to watch
Yeah,
it.
that'll have to be
The
watched.
shoveler's wife wanted him to get rid of
Yes.
the thing. It's like a van-ish type battle van. And,
Yeah.
so they just like
It was
and put all kinds of weird stuff on it, and then drove it
yeah.
into battle.
It was the world's most powerful non-lethal battle vehicle.
According to who? Like,
According to this,
what other non-lethal battle vehicles were they measuring it against?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
But he
Ninja
worked.
Turtles?
So
Oh, that was 100%
That was
lethal.
Mr.
lethal, though, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Furious.
Donatello
worked
took
for
no
a
prisoners.
junkyard.
It's true.
Mr.
Yes.
Furious
Deadly
worked for a
vans.
junkyard, And this old lady that ran the junkyard wanted him to junk it, to tear it apart and disassemble it.
Yeah.
And so he's over there and he's hitting it with pickaxes and hammers and crowbars, and he can't even get. He'll get a little piece up and it'll snap back. And finally, she's just screaming at him to junk it.
So they just turned it into
So finally they're looking for a vehicle to go into battle with, and he said, the Herkimer Battle Jitney, and they've got one at the thing, and so they get it, and the whole front of it is just like 28 different headlights basically, and then the top of it has this nuclear electromagnet, and you flip it on, and anything that's within like a 50-foot radius just gets sucked right to it. Yeah. And so they crash into Casanovas and flip that on, and then all the gangs with all the machine guns, they just go flying out of their hands. Teeth fly out of their mouth.
Yes, I remember now. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh my God.
But, while we're on the subject of like battle vehicles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had a blimp.
A battle blimp?
A battle blimp that had actual bombs that it dropped.
Yeah.
How did how are they supposed to be ninjas again?
All their advanced
With this
weaponry.
bright yellow and green blimp that dropped bombs on New York City.
Maybe they were bombardier ninjas. Or ninja bombardiers.
Maybe
bombardiers.
if ancient Japan had blimps, maybe ninjas would have used them. You don't know. You don't know. You don't know.
All I'm saying is that New York was very permissive of the turtles and their antics.
Yeah. Now, was the blimp black?
No, it was bright yellow and green.
Ninjas, they wear the black.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it was bright yellow and green with
in your
probably
eyes.
some purple in it.
Not a
Very
stealth blimp.
un-ninja-like.
Yeah.
Very
Unstealthily,
un-ninja-like.
yes.
Yeah.
And
as the turtles were themselves. It's not like they
weren't really,
They weren't subdued.
Yeah.
They were very
But you
colorful.
Even then you can get hide in the shadows of New York City, which was kind of how the first movie was. But this is a blimp. It's up in the air.
Up there.
It's like, hey, what's that blimp that's got a big shell on it?
Right.
Wait, is that a bomb?
What are they doing to our city?
Yeah.
And then there's a technodrome coming up in the middle of Times Square. In the cartoon, no one ever noted, New York wasn't in a state of constant panic because there were mutant turtles and an alien invasion.
There's a Bernie Sanders onesie over there.
Yeah. I saw that.
That's a first.
I don't know what to say.
That's different.
Yeah.
Science fiction.
I wonder if he supports Bernie in the election.
Could be.
It's
You don't want to assume.
You don't.
Maybe he's wearing it as
Maybe
a parody.
it's mocking them.
Yeah. Right.
I just think that she really likes Bernie
Bernie.
Sanders.
That could be.
I think it's a guy.
I think it's a he.
Can't assume here though. But
No.
But
You
yeah,
can never assume.
let's not get tied up into
Could be.
gender roles on this one.
Right.
That's the least of what's happening here. Is that question? But
Well, I guess that leads us to another really good thing about the convention is just all the cosplay we've seen here.
Oh,
Yeah, and that was going to be my
I-
next question was, of the cosplay that you've seen, what stands out? So,
Well,
Chris, we'll start
probably
with you.
the suits, the people who spent dozens, if not hundreds of hours
Yes.
building out their costumes,
Indeed.
painting it.
Crafting.
And it just goes to show, you
Yeah.
can just go out there and buy something, but it's not as
Right.
cool, as unique as the ones that are spending some of the committed time building out. Those ones are the coolest ones to me.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
functional.
agree.
There's the 9-foot tall monster that's been walking around
That
all
one's been creeping
weekend.
me out.
Yeah. There's
let's-
been the guy that had the hawk suit with the collapsible
Oh
wings.
yeah, that was really cool.
Is he the same one that was at PlanetCon, or is that a different?
I think that was a different setup because this guy was that one. The wings on that one were
Yeah, they're like 14
unbelievable.
feet.
Yeah, they were huge. These guys were impressive, but they weren't as big as that.
Yeah.
I saw the Iron Giant walking through here
Yeah.
last night, just holding some
I
little
didn't-
girl's hand. It was so
Yeah,
sweet
I
and
think it was
cute.
his daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I assume so. Either that or the Iron Giant was kidnapping
children.
someone,
Yeah.
which is the Iron Giant. It would be pretty easy, you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
was that while the cosplay competition was going on? Because I was stuck in that.
No, we
No,
kind of
it was
skipped out
that
on the
yesterday
cosplay
after-
competition.
I know,
What did you
but-
see there?
There? Everything. except an Iron Giant. I didn't see that. I'm
Oh.
sad.
Huh.
Yeah, actually, I didn't see that at the competition
Well,
yesterday.
you have to figure that's not one you want to wear around like for long.
Some guy nailed Thanos, man.
Oh yeah, I saw Thanos. That was so cool.
That was really good.
I saw a good Thor walking around.
I've seen a few good Thors.
Yeah.
My
Thors.
favorite Thors are the fat Thors, though.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm glad. I knew someone was going to do it, and like 4 people did it. I
Yeah.
love it.
The
But
Big Lebowski Thors.
Yeah, right.
Good.
someone came as the comedian from Watchmen, and it's like, and he just was perfect.
Yeah.
He really nailed the comedian. And Thanos and the comedian didn't win anything. It's like made me sad.
Who did win?
Well, one of the girls who, you remember the suit that was all lit up and she
Yes,
she
the
could,
white and blue,
yep,
and
and she was
pretty decked
stiff
out.
because
Yeah.
it was all
She
she
had-
won.
Blue lights and everything.
yeah.
She had her own speaker with like music playing out of it when she was
Oh,
walking
wow.
around the arena
Wow.
for a while.
Yeah, she won one of the things, and someone from God, I want to say. She looked like Hela. She had the thing sticking out of her head, black.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking?
Yeah.
You saw her too.
Trying to remember what she was out of.
I remember when we were in the green room for the cosplay competition. She rolled in with a fan and she was kind of grumpy. It's like, and I can understand because you couldn't move a lot. Her motions were, but
Yeah,
it's like,
highly
Yeah, I saw her when she was taking pictures with people in the hall, and she had to put her purse down or whatever she had, her bag. It took her a solid few seconds to get, like, you had to help her.
She needed a
get back
handler.
up.
She
Yeah.
did. They all
did.
did. All the elaborate ones should have a handler.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And you competed with your.
Yeah, and I would love to have that fan. I can tell you that right now. But no, I wasn't expecting to win. I didn't make the costume. I actually don't know how anyone actually made a bubble without like scorch marks and stuff. But it's like, it's neat. But it's like I wanted to do it because it's like it's definitely one of the more well-received costumes that I've ever done. So
Yeah, a surprising number of people recognize that.
well, yeah, people weren't ready for that. They were surprised. It's like so. Yeah, I'm doing it again. I'm doing it at NebCon, just because they probably.
Well,
would
at least
never-
that'll be cooler.
It'll be cooler, but then I'm dealing with a crowd whose average age is what, like 18.
Yeah, there is that. I
They
don't,
won't know. They might not know. Dude, where's my car?
Dude, where's my
Now,
car?
do
I
you
saw
get
that
I don't
theater.
know,
Dry
dude.
clean?
Where's my car?
Do you get that thing dry cleaned in between?
I actually took it off by turning it inside out, and then I went home and I washed it down in the sink, and then I'm letting it dry right now, and then I'm gonna turn it back around, and then it's ready. But yeah, I can't really dry clean it. So it's gonna have some funk.
Seems like it'd be like to reuse one of those turkey basting bags.
It's
Yeah,
by rinsing it out.
If you took it out of the bag carefully, wash the inside.
You could probably
it would
reuse
still be
it.
bad. But it's like I got all the gunk and confunk off of it. so
Horrible
it's like-
things to talk about.
Yeah.
Reusing turkey bags and the confunk bag.
It's ready to go. It's ready to
Oh
go.
man, that's the worst.
After that.
I don't think there's ever been a worse bag than confunk bag. Ugh.
Now,
Yeah.
what's the next event you guys are looking forward to? Is there one?
Here?
Sleep.
No,
There's not a lot of events
Midwest
left here.
cons. Are there any coming up that I can't
Well,
think of one off? the
British
No, I think this is pretty much the
Ozfest
end of con season.
British Fest collapsed.
Well, they're doing in
Congregations
2020.
collapsed. Maybe. We'll see.
Well, I know there's.
I know he's talking about it, but he's got to get a sponsor and he's got to, he's got to get it going. I mean,
One called Convergence is coming up next weekend, but I'm not going.
where is it?
I don't know where it is. We have to Google that, but it's a pretty it's small reports. It's a very good convention.
Cool.
I want to go some year, but not this year. Family stuff.
You guys going to do PlanetCon next year?
Oh, I'm planning on doing PlanetCon. Katie, not so much probably. She's gonna come and just do her Katie thing while I do the PlanetCon. But I think it would be fun to do this kind of booth at Planet Comic Con.
Yeah, it would.
Do this?
Yeah.
That would be blessed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, now you're the master with the press pass, so
The question is, can we get a booth?
Right.
Which that's gonna be pricey.
Real pricey.
well,
Set up a
oh,
Kofi
yeah,
or something.
I guess. How much was this? It's like
I don't remember.
It was
90
basically the
bucks?
price of 3 tickets, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
I think it was.
And then we got the tickets with it?
We got 2 tickets with it.
Yeah, so
So yeah, all right. I'm sure it's more expensive than that. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. Well, we can look into it.
yeah, let's.
It's a
I am
possibility.
serious.
plus
wanna
I got
go
a
anyway.
spiffy media pass here.
Yes.
I didn't get a media pass. I was
Well, that's
good.
because you bought yours separate.
Well, pardon me for participating in capitalism.
Yes.
My bad.
See, you
I don't
didn't
think
mean
I
to do
can
that.
pardon you.
No,
Sorry.
I can't be your judge.
only Donald Trump can pardon you at this point.
Well, we don't. Yeah.
It's a federal crime what you've done.
What I've done. Yeah. Sad.
Well, yeah, we got our friend Matt Bauer over there. We'd like to bring in for a little
right.
bit.
Here, let me.
You want to
just,
come
jump
in?
in.
You want to step
Yeah, I'll
out?
step out. You
Okay,
sit.
Matt,
All
you
right.
can sit here. Stay, Chris.
You're doing good.
Yeah.
Carry on.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. Come on in, have a seat.
Thank you.
I want to hear about your con experience.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Matt Bauer, and Matt's big in the local area cosplay stuff. He does an excellent Samuel Tarly.
Yeah.
Um,
Game of Thrones.
And you've got a couple different versions of him that you do. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I do the this kind of the standard version of him with the black tunic and the belt and
As
everything from the show.
the Night's Watch.
The Night's
look.
Watch look from the show, and then I also do him from when he was at the Citadel.
Right.
And so I do him with the
Going to the maesters.
yeah, and shoveling
Yeah.
out of the, yeah.
Toilet facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Changing their bedpans.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Horrible.
You know, all the good
that
parts
was-
of the show.
That would have been horrible.
When I first saw that was such a weird scene, and then it just like got funnier and funnier every time I watched it.
So you felt you had to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're also big in the Steampunk Society of Nebraska. You've been doing Snapshot, and why don't you tell them about Snapshot?
Yeah, so I don't know how many people know about the band Steam Powered Giraffe at all.
Oh yeah.
They're for those people who don't know, essentially they're a steampunk band out of San Diego, California that dress up as robots and perform music. And out of that fandom came the fan bots, and so I created my own
Version of that?
my own fan bot called Snapshot, which the name actually I was sitting in my dorm room cafeteria and misheard somebody say snap because they were talking about Snapchat.
Oh,
And
okay.
I thought they said Snapshot, and I thought, wow, that's a really great name for a robot.
It is, and you do great. And so a lot of that, most of what you do for Snapshot is the face makeup.
Oh, yes.
That's it's just amazingly elaborate. And how long does it take you to do that?
Well, it depends on the day
Yeah.
and the situation. Like for conventions, it will take me between 4 to 5 hours.
Holy cow.
Just because I put so much attention to detail into it.
Yeah, it's really elaborate.
If it's something more simpler, like I did a cracked makeup at TeslaCon
remember
last
that.
year, yeah, where it's like my human face, but like the metal's coming out. That took about like maybe 2.5 hours, just
Okay.
because it was. But I still, I'm like a stickler for details.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
So are
it
you
shows.
naturally gifted at doing that then and making it look good, or is this something you had to take?
I've always been into art my whole life,
Okay.
and when I found out about Steam Powered Giraffe, it gave me the catalyst to explore makeup, like if that makes sense.
Makeup
Yeah.
is an art form.
Is an
Yeah.
art, yeah, to channel what I knew, because I do digital illustrations, to channel what I've learned from years of doing art into, making myself look like a metal man is a huge passion of mine that I love.
Yeah, I know he's done some of the artwork for some of the steampunk events that we have, like the annual winter ball that we do.
I think the Krampus
Yeah.
event was the first one.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, I
Had a
love
very
that.
creepy vibe, so we like that. We should always have creepiness involved with Christmas, I think. And so today was the only day that you could make it to the con.
Yeah, yesterday I was walking in the Pride Parade in downtown Omaha, which
Was that pretty well attended?
good lord.
Yeah?
It was amazing seeing how many people turned out for it. It
Nice,
was
that's
just
excellent.
so surreal.
Yeah.
And then we went to go see Rhett and Link at the Orpheum Theater.
Ah, okay.
Tagged
Internet
in.
comedy duo. Hi.
team. All right. Welcome back, Jenna.
Hello.
Yeah. So you marched in the marching with a group? Just
Yeah, I was marching with Children's Hospital in UNMC.
Oh, awesome.
Very good.
Yeah, my mother works at Children's, so.
Great. Yeah, I know. So I'm in the Omaha Metro Area Humanist Association, and we had a fairly good-sized group. We normally do go out with them every year to march in it, or sometimes we'll go to the festival that they have and set up a booth there. And so this year was our year to march, and then it turned out it fell on the same weekend as OCon, and I'm like, oh, we can't go this year. So I was wondering how big a turnout we'd have, but we had a pretty good turnout there from the pictures that they sent, and I saw some coverage on the news media about it today, and it looked like there was a lot of people there. So.
Oh yeah, to see like a whole crowds in the main drag of the old market is just amazing.
Yeah, nice.
You need that kind of support in the Midwest.
Oh,
you really
yes.
do.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
So-
Especially now more than any time.
Yeah. So now today, what have you seen here at the con that you liked? What panels did you go to? Maybe that were intriguing. Or?
Well, I did. I went to your Stranger Things panel,
Right.
which was fun. I've never seen Stranger Things, as we've discussed before.
Right.
What? Now you need to see it.
But now I need to see it. So yeah, like I said, when the new season, when did it come out? When
The 4th,
next week
or
or this
the
week?
4th.
This week, 4th. Right?
Yep.
Oh wow.
I know,
Yeah,
it's already
so-
July. Like, what the hell happened?
So you guys
Yeah.
will just be watching the 3rd season, and I'll be able to watch all 3.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
You
you'll
You
get
got
to
some serious
binge.
binging
Good.
to do.
Yeah.
Serious binge work to do.
Yeah. He'll be like these glowing red
Yeah.
eyes
But
at the end.
I'll tell you, you'll get hooked. It won't be hard to get
From the
start
credits,
binging on
it's
it.
just going to be like, oh.
From the beginning to the end. So I sat down one weekend. I was way late getting into Stranger Things. 3-4 months. I came out talking about it. I sat one Sunday afternoon, and so I'll just at least get 1 or 2 down. 5-6 hours.
10 hours later.
Yeah.
Just, like what just happened? So no, it's absolutely great. You're gonna love it. You're absolutely.
That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
think I was telling that's what Audie did because he had never seen it either, and so I told him you got to go home and watch that, and we all were talking about it. So he went home, pulled it up on his computer because he was just going to make sure he could get to it on Netflix and watch it, and he pulls it up and he starts watching a little bit of it, and he said that night he went through season 1.
Yep.
It was like 3:30 in the morning. He
Yep.
was done, and oh my God, I can't keep my eyes open anymore. But I got to get up early and start season 2.
Sexy in, bro. Sexy in.
That's right, it does. And
now that Game of Thrones is over,
the Game of Thrones is
Yeah.
over, and
You need
then-
something.
I need
not only
something,
that,
yeah.
but he hasn't seen Galaxy Quest.
What?
There's-
What?
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff I realized I've never seen. Galaxy Quest, Starship Troopers, Next Generation, Star Trek.
You haven't watched Next Generation. Of
That's
Star
going to be a long commitment, though. But see, start with
That
Galaxy
one's
Quest.
a chip away a bit, like
I've
one a week.
I've
Right,
seen the majority
right.
of the
Yeah.
classic Star Trek.
Uh-huh.
So
We'll have to have Matt back on the show when he reaches his early 50s and he's completed watching all of this stuff, so we can see, was it a valid spending of your time?
Yeah.
the
Was it
past
worth it?
30
Yeah.
years, right. Dedicated 30 years, that's all
to,
he's
to
accomplished.
watching what just
Getting-
Next Generation.
Yeah, getting caught up on all the Star
It's about what it
Trek.
feels like. Because there was
Oh my God.
I feel like I never saw a rerun as a kid.
Yeah, right. Well,
Yeah.
and that really was the tough part when I was growing up, was that, these shows would be on at a certain time, day and time every week. Same bat time, same bat channel, right? Where that
Yeah.
came from. And if you missed it, you missed that episode. And back then, of course, they really didn't do, series kind of things where you had a whole
Yeah.
season dedicated to one thing.
Yep.
And that was kind of why. Because, if somebody had to work or they had something
Yeah.
come up and you missed an episode,
And all the kids.
You're
in the
lost.
you
lunch
had no
room
way to
or-
go back and
yeah.
watch it, right? So the streaming world's opened a whole new.
It's true.
ability to
It's
do
a
stuff.
new. It's a different kind of world. But then
Yeah.
it's also a suck you in kind of world.
It is
Because now you can watch it anytime. Where
right.
you might have been like, oh, I missed it. I guess I'll go do something else fun. No, I'll just wait and watch it now.
Yep.
Well, and I think too that ability makes people sort of there's less urgency to go out and watch something
Yeah.
because you think, well, have you finished Game of Thrones?
No, but I
See,
will.
and you've been busy, I know,
Yeah, kids
right?
moving and working and things.
But it's out there whenever you're ready, see? And
And
so
it just
that
sits in a queue until you get
slows
to
the
it.
Yeah.
urgency.
Yeah.
There's no urgency.
Versus
So-
if there is a time limit. Although, when are you getting rid of HBO?
Not anytime soon, I guess.
I need to do it soon, so you don't have to keep it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh, good.
Sorry.
Yeah. So,
He's going to be my dealer.
Right.
He's the
Get the
pusher.
content, yeah.
Yep, there's going to be a day of Game of Thrones and drinking,
Yes.
Right.
because that's how we roll.
That's awesome. That's a good way of doing it. Especially with this last season, you want to probably be drinking.
Yeah, you want to be drinking for this last
Yeah.
season.
God,
You would be almost dead. Like,
emotionally dead inside if
Emotionally
you didn't need
dead.
to drink.
The good news is your character's doing well. Right?
Yeah, and that's I was so amazed with. I mean, we can't talk spoilers, obviously, because you haven't seen it. But
Exactly. No spoilers.
She's grabbed
Let's-
Grabthar's hammer. We've decided that's Grabthar's hammer.
let's just say that my next cosplay is going to be Sam at the end of the show.
Okay. It'll be good times.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah. What was his girlfriend's name?
Gilly.
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 Yeah. You need to find a Gilly now to cosplay along with you.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would be awesome.
That
wouldn't
would
That'd be
cool.
cute.
it? Yeah, that'd be really cute.
Yeah, people would really like that. That was one of the charming things people liked about him is when he finally got a woman in his life.
Yeah,
Right,
and see
right.
that's the most amazing thing doing Sam at conventions. That hardly anybody, like I hardly see any Samuel Tarly cosplayers at
Right,
all.
right.
And every time I do dress up as the Night Watch version, everybody says, "Oh, it's Jon Snow. It's Jon Snow."
No.
It's like, no, I'm his less important friend, but
No, that's so important. There's a difference. Like he is such an important character.
oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
agree. That's
Yeah.
why I love him so much.
Yeah. Now, Chris, do you do any cosplays?
I don't. I really
Yet.
should,
Yet.
but I don't yet.
Yeah. If there was one you were going to do, what might you do?
That's a great question. So
Yeah.
actually, a movie that came out a while ago, actually not too long ago, The Gunslinger, played by Idris
Oh,
Elba.
Towers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Dark
The Dark
Tower
Series.
series.
Yeah. Idris Elba.
Yes. It's about doing a gunslinger.
Make it so.
For a cosplay. 'Cause I don't know that a lot of people have seen that anywhere, and I generally don't see it
Right.
around. Maybe
Yeah.
unique. I
Seen
think
one.
it would stand out a little bit.
Right, right.
So that would be one I would love to do.
Yeah.
actually.
All right.
I'd love to do
yeah.
that.
That'd
No,
be
I haven't
cool.
seen one.
Yeah.
Who's done him?
So when I think about that, I was like, I think that'd be pretty cool to do.
You just want to walk around with a 6-shooter,
I do.
like roll at it, baby.
Gotta have a couple of them, and he's got a really nice
Yeah.
outfit. So,
You'll have to memorize the quote.
yes.
You know,
Yes.
something I'm amazed that I haven't seen is any Westworld cosplays.
I've seen some out there, just not around here.
Okay.
I've watched. I haven't watched the full series of Westworld. I've seen about halfway through the.
Seth is out there doing a high kick dance as he goes by like a showgirl.
I just hope he's not doing a traditional kilt and flashing the camera.
Yeah. Next thing he'll be walking by wand waving.
Oh my gosh.
But finishing your thoughts, sir.
Finishing my thought, I've
sorry.
seen the first season of Westworld. I haven't seen the
So
rest.
I haven't watched any, and to your
No.
point before it's in that queue.
I hear
I
it
know
sucks
I'll
you
get to
in.
it when I'm ready
Yeah.
to.
But it took
to binge that.
but when Game of Thrones took that gap year, Westworld also did. So I'd have to rewatch it to like know any of the characters. But I
Yeah.
recognize the cosplays when I see them. It's
Okay.
just like, okay, that's the guy in black, the stranger guy that's looking
Yeah.
for stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to have to rewatch a little bit or maybe all of season 2 as it gets ready to release season 3 just so I'm
Oh
kind of
yeah.
So
up on it, ready for it.
it's, getting that we're wrapping up and getting done with OCon. What do you hope to see next year? Personally,
Here at OCon?
yeah, I was really impressed with the lineup and the celebrities and the panels that they had. It seems to be getting better every year. So I definitely look forward to seeing what they'll have in terms of speaker and in terms of presentation. They had a lot of family activities, which I thought was good, but I hope to see more, I think, cosplay and just continuing to develop the sci-fi writing aspect. 'Cause I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of writers in the Midwest who are just looking for that support group to go
Yeah.
further with that.
I
But
would like to see an expansion to the podcast area with more podcasters monsters maybe would be kind of cool. And I hope to see Galactic Driftwood here again next year. 'Cause
Yeah.
we had a fun time. So
did have a good time.
I think we'll plan on getting a booth next year and doing this again. It was kind of fun being able to live stream to an audience out there and do this live. The nice part of that for me is it saves me editing time,
Yay!
which is appreciated. So
All content.
it's all content, yeah. So how about you? Anything you're looking forward to next year, or anything you'd like to see?
Well, hopefully next year I'll be able to actually go for the entire weekend.
Hi, grab Thar's hammer. You're leaving.
I have to leave.
Hi.
Bye.
Good seeing you. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Nice. So what was that? So you were saying you hope?
I hope to go back for that because absolutely loved last year, and I wasn't able to go the full weekend this year. So
Okay.
but yeah, I've loved the setup. The setup's similar to last year, but I love the podcast row over here. That's nice, as opposed to it just being in that back kind of room over
the
there.
thing I like about it is you're right out here by the entrance, so you can see almost all the cosplays going by.
Yeah.
And I think when you're back in the back of that one arena over there, that a lot of people maybe don't make it back.
Yeah,
into
no,
that
this
area.
was a good spot. This was
Yeah.
so remember that next year, OCon. This is a great spot to put the podcast people.
Right. Make efficient use of this space here.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, the restrooms were right across from us.
Oh, thank
which
God.
made it
that's
nice
very
and
Thank God.
convenient.
And what about you, Chris?
So for me, two things. So we just touched on, hope to return here as a cosplayer.
Nice.
Yay!
That would be great. And then actually the vendors. I enjoy going through here, seeing what people have for sale. A lot of the authors. That was
Yeah.
a big hit for us this year. So I want to continue seeing that grow because that also draws in more people.
Right.
People need to understand that while there's events and everything to do here, there's a lot of cool things to buy as well. A lot of handmade stuff, a lot of awesome T-shirts. Like you
Local
mentioned, the
writers,
books,
local artists, or
local
regional
artists,
writers, regional artists.
Yep. So there's a lot to see in there along the as much as we have all these great sessions that we all talked about earlier, things we went to see. There's also plenty of things to buy. If you get bored with the local, stop by here during OCon
Yeah.
A lot
pick up
of
something
one-of-a-kind
unique.
things
Yeah,
here that you
exactly.
can't find anywhere
Like I
else.
definitely got my T-shirt fix with the nerdy things. Yeah.
Nice.
So there's a lot of things there. I always look
Yeah.
forward to seeing more and more vendors get there. It's
Yeah.
unique.
Did you see the grill that looked like a TIE
I
fighter?
did. I did.
How close?
It's close.
That close?
Is that close to getting it?
Yeah.
So you're saying you're lucky there's not harder alcohol here to make poor life choices.
Yeah, because I'm pretty quick to make a decision. A few drinks in, I was like, I'll take it. It's coming with me.
Yeah.
Easy
right.
decision.
Right. Yeah,
yeah.
that was pretty awesome. Yeah, I loved all the stuff that they had here this year, so I'm looking forward to it. What's that?
I think Seth left his
Oh,
hat.
Seth left his
Seth,
hat.
it is now mine. Blah.
Ah,
Tis mine.
nice.
Mario wins.
Yay! Well, Seth, when you watch this, you'll find out where your hat is.
Yep.
Until then, we haven't.
Nope. Not a thing.
We'll tell him there's
Nope.
an Easter egg on the live stream
like
if he
that.
wants
Yeah,
to
there you
find
go.
his hat
Yep.
again.
Yep.
Yep.
It's true.
Yes.
It will cost him
Dearly.
and delicious Swanson food. Or D&D wins.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Well,
Well,
thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Thank you
tuned
very
in.
much. That's been an
Thank
hour.
you to our guest, Chris.
Yes. Thanks
And
for having
Matt.
me.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It was a
Yeah.
pleasure.
This is Jenna.
This is Bill,
I'm Chris.
And I'm Matt.
and we will see you all next time.
Bye. It's such a squirrel.